The date, the 24th of November, 1946. On this day, a French naval vessel bombarded Haiphong, killing over 6,000. Ordinary life had been extremely disrupted in French-controlled Vietnam during the Second World War, especially when the Japanese invaded and occupied the region, later declaring Vietnam independent from France on the 9th of March, 1945. In May 1941, Ho Chi Minh began to lead an armed insurgency, called the Viet Minh, against the Japanese occupiers. After the defeat of the Japanese, the Viet Minh wanted to continue their resistance against French recolonization and see a completely independent Vietnam. After the Second World War had ended, Ho convinced the 13th and final emperor of the Nguyen dynasty, Bayu Dai, to abdicate and support Ho, acting as the Viet Minh's supreme advisor. France, after being seriously weakened by the Second World War and threatened by the Chinese First Army to the north, was forced to compromise. Jean Santenay, French commissioner for northern Indochina, met with Ho Chi Minh in Hanoi and signed the Ho-Santenay Agreement on the 6th of March, 1946, which allowed the French to maintain a military presence for the following 5 years, and critically gave Vietnam independence, but kept it in the French Union. Despite the treaty, however, France continued to act as a colonial power, and its unmatched naval presence in the Gulf of Tonkin allowed it virtual control of much of the economy and state mechanisms of Vietnam. On the 20th of November 1946, a French vessel stopped a Chinese vessel that was apparently attempting to bring contraband into Haiphong, one of Vietnam's largest cities, in the north of the country. This provoked some Vietnamese soldiers into firing at the French ship, and fighting on the land began. The French acted swiftly, however, and promised to respect Vietnamese sovereignty in Haiphong on the 22nd of November. However, once news of the fighting reached Admiral Georges Thierry d'Argenleu in Paris, he sent an order to the commander of French forces in Indochina, Jean-Étienne Valois, that force was to be used to exercise control over Haiphong. Valois in turn ordered Haiphong commander, Colonel Debes, to take complete control of the city. Debes issued an ultimatum to the Vietnamese in Haiphong, demanding their withdrawal from the Chinese and French quarters. When the Vietnamese did not withdraw, Debes ordered the bombardment of the Vietnamese sections of the city, possibly using the cruiser Suffren, although some argue that Suffren was not involved, and the bombardment was instead carried out by 3 smaller ships. Regardless, it is estimated upwards of 6,000 people perished in the bombardment. Although the fighting did not immediately erupt afterwards, the Haiphong incident began armed escalation, which led to the official outbreak of the First Indochina War on the 19th of December, 1946. It would last 7.5 years, claim more than 500,000 lives, and eventually lead to the division of the state and American intervention. Everything becomes history. Until next time, goodbye.